everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I have done a makeup tutorial on this very bright and colourful makeup look, and that is all down to this fabulous palette right here, the Venus XL palette, which I was dying to use in a makeup tutorial. Look at those shades, oh my god, they're so gorgeous. And I also wanted to use the two new MAC Hyper Real Glow palettes, as well as the new, here it is, where is it, too many new things, the new NYX Highlight and Contour Cream Pro palette. You guys have probably heard of the powder palette, which I have actually used in the past, and I actually have got as well, and many of you probably have, but they are releasing a new one on the 28th of February, the cream one. And so yeah, I just wanted to do something quite colourful. The past one or two looks I've done are quite muted or not so Charlena typical, like bright and colourful. So I kind of wanted to step back to my usual kind of thing and do something quite bright and fun with a little pop of glitter as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye! Hello! First, starting off with my bare face as always, I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Enigma because I told you guys it just refuses to finish. I'm using that to prime my eyelids for the eyeshadow later, followed by the new NYX Total Control Drops Primer, which I am blobbing all over my face. Yes, I know it's white and I will look a little bit white after I have blended it all in, but it does not affect the colour of your foundation afterwards, so don't be scared, we can all use it. Then I'm using the Primark My Perfect Colour Longwear Ultimate Matte Foundation in the shade Toffee. Guys, this is a dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, but it costs £5. I have done a review and a demo, which I will put up in the next couple of days so you guys can see. And then I'm blending it all in with a Sigma 3D HD Kabuki brush. I tend to dot it all over my face, which as you can see gives me a nice load of coverage, but as I do have a bit of redness and whatnot, I do like to kind of put a little bit extra in those areas on my cheeks where I feel that I need a little bit of extra coverage. And then I am just blending it all in, as you can see. And then I have done my eyebrows off camera like I generally tend to do. I've done my brow routine, which is linked in the info bar below. And now for my under eye concealer, I am using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium, where I am just covering up any dark circles under my eyes. And then I am blending it out with a beauty blender. I think this is a Real Techniques beauty blender that I've got. Any beauty blender will do. And then I'm using my Makeup Revolution Luxury Powder in the shade Banana, which, as you guys know, I tend to apply very thickly under my eyes, as you can see that I am doing. This stops any creasing whatsoever from happening, so just layer it on really thickly, and then literally within a couple of seconds just brush it all off. Look, you can see all the dust flying off because I have applied that much, but it really does stop the creasing. And then I'm using the NYX Highlight and Contour Cream Pro palette, and this is a brand new palette by what they called NYX. And then I am using a Makeup Addiction Cosmetics brush called the Queen, where I am outlining the contours of my face. This will give a really nice kind of natural sort of contour. Obviously I'm going to apply way more makeup afterwards, so there is no such thing as natural in regards to this video. I don't even know why I said that. And then after I have applied it to the areas where I would like contoured, I am blending it all in. I actually really like this contour palette. It's very creamy and very easy to blend, plus there is a shade for everybody, which makes it obviously universal for all of us out there, whether you are light, medium or dark. Then I'm using the Banana shade, and I just thought I'd use my finger because I was being a bit lazy. And then I am highlighting my nose, because obviously you guys saw that I did not apply concealer in the usual places that I do, aside from just my under eyes. And using your finger is fine because it's such a creamy product, it's easily kind of melts. So as you can see underneath the contour, I am just tidying it up, because obviously with the darker shade it's very easy for it to get a little bit messy, so you just need to sometimes tidy it up. And then I'm using that same grubby looking beauty blender, I just turned it over, and then I am blending everything out. As you can see here, I am just going right underneath the darker shade, the contour shade, so that I can sharpen it and neaten it and make it look a lot nicer.
And then I'm using the powder palette, and I'm using this shade, which is like a mix between a warm tone and a cool tone, and I'm very lightly going over the cream contour. This is just to basically set it. I know it looks a little bit intense, but as you guys know, I will fix it and sort it out a little bit afterwards. So just literally go over the exact same places where the cream contour was applied beforehand. Now I'm using the Airspun Coty powder in the shade Translucent. Can you believe this is the same one I bought from New York, which I still haven't finished? I got so many of them, man. And now I am using the Morphe M459 flat contour brush to basically set the not the concealer, the banana powder underneath, and again tidy up a little bit more. And now I'm also contouring my nose so that I can create that lovely ski jump effect. If you haven't seen my video where I show how to contour the perfect nose, just look it up. It's one of my most recent videos. And then I'm using my Real Techniques contour brush just to blend it all out. See, as you can see, it's starting to look a lot soft, a lot more soft even, a lot less kind of messy, and so I'm just tidying it all up. So now my face has got a lot more dimension. Now I'm using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Powder with the Sigma F40 large powder brush just to set everything. And again, can you see, using that powder has now softened everything so that it looks a lot nicer. Now I'm using the NYX HD finishing powder in the shade Banana just to set my eyes so that they are nice and smooth. And then I'm going to be using the MAC Real Glow Hyper Real Glow palette in Flash and Awe, and the shade I'm using is Rosy Glow just to highlight my brow bone in preparation for the Venus XL palette from Lime Crime. I love it. First shade I'm using is a Blank Canvas, and I'm using the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush just to go all over my eyes to neutralize them, followed by the shade Scallop. And I'm using the Morphe M330 blending crease brush just to go backwards and forwards in the crease, followed by the shade Flora, and I'm using exactly the same brush. Look at how I was like shocked. It was the first time I was using it and I was like, oh my god, it's so intense, it's so intense. Hello, we're going to go even more intense, and now we are going to use the shade called Passion and go into the same area to make it even more kind of berry toned. Yeah, see, impressed here, Charlene. Yeah, we're impressed. And I'm using the Zoeva 228 crease brush again just to go backwards and forwards. I'm using that same scallop shade again just to blend over those shades so that there is a nice gradient from light to medium to dark. Then I am using the shade Inspire, and I'm using a MAC 239 eyeshadow brush, and I am just going all over the lid. As you can see, it looks really lovely even just to use it on its own, and it blends really nicely into the shades which are above. Now I'm using Rose Gold's shade, Rose Gold, can't speak, it's one of their diamond dews, and I'm placing it in the center of the eye for a kind of a spotlight glitter eye. And I'm just using any kind of flat brush just to pat it down so that it looks nice and neat and tidy, so it doesn't look lumpy like a lot of glitters can do. Love this shade, it's a gorgeous pink. Then I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in the shade Chocolate just to tidy up and set my eyebrows, because I always do that after my eyeshadow in case there's any powder. Now I'm using the NYC liquid liner. As you guys know, this is my favorite liner because it does not move on me all day. It dries to a kind of semi-matte sort of finish, so it's not too shiny and it's not too matte. Plus I like the fact that the wand itself is very thin, very easy to use. As you guys know, as you can see how I'm holding it, I've got a disability, so I find that using a brush like this, which has got a really good handle, helps me a lot. Now for mascara, I'm using the NYX Worth the Hype mascara, which is their latest mascara, just to prep my eyelashes before I use or is it fake eyelashes afterwards. I forgot what I was saying. I was like mumbling sometimes, you know. And then I am going to be using the shade Botticelli, and I am using the Morphe M431 pencil brush. This is a very deep shade, as you can see, which is why I'm only going 3/4 of the way in before I clean off the brush. And then I'm using the shade Triumph to go over that, and I am dragging the shade Botticelli in but also softening it by using that shade. Now I'm using my Rimmel Scandalized Kohl Kajal on my waterline because I always use the same one all the time. And now I'm using Flash and Awe with a 219 brush for my tear duct. And then the lashes I'm using are Lily Galici's Lily Lashes in the style Miami. They're huge, they're wispy, they're absolutely gorgeous, and I love them. I use them a lot. Now for the lower lash line, I'm using Maybelline's Push Up Angel Mascara. As you guys know, this is my favorite lower lash line mascara because it's got a very, very thin wand. Eyes are now done. Now for the cheeks, back to the cheeks. Colourpop's Parakeet Powder Blush, and I'm using a 129 blush brush by MAC This is a gorgeous kind of orange sort of shade. It kind of works with the eyes. I didn't want to use purple. And now I'm using the other Hyper Real Glow palette by MAC called Get It Glowing, and I'm using the shade Gold Coasting and Get It Glowing. I'm using both of them because I'm just extra like that. And I'm using the Morphe M310 large fan brush. So as you can see, I used one shade first before I then decide to use it on my nose as well to highlight the high points of my nose. And then I'm also highlighting my cupid's bow. And now I'm using the other shade to layer it on top, because obviously this look is extra, so I am going extra, why not? Then I'm using the NYX powder again just to tidy up my face in case any highlighter, contour, blush has gone a little bit too forward, just to neaten it up. And then finally I'm using the Velveteen by Lime Crime in the shade Rustic. I really like this shade. It's gorgeous, it's bright, it's in your face, it's very Charlena. And then that is the end of the look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye.